Ooh, yes, sir. You know what time it is. It's review time, man. All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Barra 250Z. We're going to start with my newest and work my way back in these reviews. This is a PCP video. There will be clips of pesting. So if animals being humanely removed from farmers' properties is not your thing, don't watch this video. All right, let's get into it. Barra 250Z, baby. So this is, like I said, newest one first. This is the newest one to my collection. She's a 25 caliber. Let's go over some of the modifications that I've done personally, and I'm going to go ahead and give 3 suggestions and one that I think everybody needs right off the bat. So the modifications I've done to this rifle myself, first and foremost, C88 machining right here. This is a plenum edition for the Barra 250Z. Oh man, do you need this and don't even know it. There's another gentleman who makes one that's a little bit larger. This C88 machining one does the trick all day long, right? Like, we're trying to keep this thing, you know, somewhat budget friendly. 44 bucks. Come on, hard to beat. So you got Barra 250Z. This thing, let me just start with saying, right out of the box, my 25s, I have 2 of them. This is the newest one. That's the order we're doing this. This thing is a laser beam right out of the box. Pull it out, clean the barrel. I always polish barrel before I use it. Then I go to town, and it has never ever let me down. So, second modification that I have done to this thing is gonna be right here. This baby has some bark to it. Not a whole lot. It's not the world's loudest, but for backyard friendly without one of these, no, that's not going to happen. And when I say one of these, I am talking about this right here. This is a 25 caliber, and this is a huge shout out to this company. Made in the USA, Heartland Air gun. I believe this is the Whisper Light or Whisper Pro. Man, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, get one of these. They come 5x20 threaded. Whew. Baby, are we good looking. So let's talk about moderators for a minute here with this rifle. I've had 3 moderators, experience with 3 moderator companies. Heartland Air, Buck Rail. Terry over at Buck Rail, man, you do a fantastic job, fantastic product, fantastic warranty. You guys do it great. This right here at Heartland Air gun right there, whoo, in a whole different sense, and we'll get into that. And number 3, I've had the Airgun Capital moderator. We're gonna leave it at that. I have 2 recommendations from personal experience. I'm gonna be getting a different one from a gentleman who does make amazing mods for this specific PCP. And I'll review that once I get my greedy little fingers around one. Buck Rail, fantastic moderator. I had the 25 caliber modular moderator for this one when I first started off. It was amazing. Quieted this rifle right down. Didn't spook the livestock. Literally, yeah, it was the bee's knees. However, I will say, and this is where a little bit of bias comes in on my end, when you add the C88 plenum, you lower your regulated air pressure for your shots, and you still achieve the same energy or foot-pounds at a lower pressure. So naturally, less air is going out. It's going to be quieter. I have a funny feeling the buck rail would be comparable to the Heartland Automotive as far as tone, now that I have a plenum install. But that's not why I will recommend Heartland air guns for uses like mine over such a great quality product like the buck rail modular silenced moderator. The reason I would recommend the Heartland Airgun Whisper Pro, and get this, this is big. This is a long rifle, man. I mean, you see how long this PCP is? It's a big boy. It's not short. It's not compact. It's built to be a laser beam. With that being said, when you're in a barn around livestock and stalls and all kinds of odds and ends and tractors and going up, taking shots on silos, every inch of length really does matter, because that changes where you can take your shot from. Heartland Automotive, or not Heartland Automotive, Heartland Air Guns, they nailed it. This thing is short, it is thin, it is, I mean, it's spectacular. The two compared side by side, Heartland Air, I'll give them this. The decibel drop is comparable, but the tone that you can like auditorially hear is lower on the Heartland Air than it is on the buck rail, which spooks the pests less from my experience, doing pesting and dispatches on, permissions that I have. So there's a plenum, there's moderator. I would highly recommend, if you do decide to do this as a budget build, first things first, this is a fantastic budget build and it is beginner friendly. I would say get yourself a moderator. The next step is going to be a plenum, an external plenum. The third thing I would say, if you're looking for upgrades or add-ons, because let's just pretend you have a budget scope, so replace this with a budget scope, not a big deal. I would say get yourself one of these. This is a big air mag for 25 caliber, 250Z. Big air mag, holds 12 shots compared to the stock mags. Worth its weight in gold. If you're shooting slugs and the slugs weigh more than 30 grain, or I would say go with this if you're shooting 32 grain or higher, heavier. There's another couple brands. I believe there's a Canadian manufacturer. Shout out to him. It looks very similar to this. I haven't used it. I have no experience with it. But I mean, you'll see theirs on eBay and immediately know that it looks identical to this. I think just less color options, maybe. I'm assuming his are of equal quality to Big Air magazines. But for me, man, I'm sticking with this one. I strictly shoot slugs out of both of my Barra 250Zs. Both are 25 caliber. The first one I owned is actually now my wife's 250Z. She does a lot of plinking and paper shooting. Well, I do pesting and the such. So, yeah, you want those. You'll appreciate those a lot. There's nothing wrong with the stock mags. You can run stock mags all day long, any weight, anything. But if you're going to be doing a lot of shooting, you're definitely going to want an upgraded mag with a higher capacity. Let's keep going. So this one in particular, I did get my hands on one of the Lothar Walther barrel replacements that they had. I will say this, for both of my 25 calibers, I did not need to use that. Both my barrels for the 25 calibers were fantastic. I literally got this Lothar Walther to see if it would make a difference. Kind of does. I'm assuming that it would be making more of a distance once I start, you know, checking out the longer distances, which you're gonna see. All of the long distance shots, I think so all of the shooting that was done in the clips that I'm gonna drop in this video was done on a stock barrel from Barra for the 250Z. No fancy anything's done, just clean polish and run a lot of lead through it. So yeah, that the Lothar Walther in this is new. That does take it out of the realm of being a, you know, not necessarily, I can't even say like a budget, I'd say like a medium budget, because, you know, when I think budget, I think like $200, and that is everything you need to be just running gunning. This is not there, so it's not quite a budget gun. It's right out of the gate a little bit more, but you get so much with this PCP that it is truly amazing. So with normal PCPs, I'm assuming that you're a new person looking for a good first time purchase. This is definitely it. Most PCPs have a big air tank underneath the barrel. This one has your compressed air around its barrel right here, and your actual barrel is inside that tube, and it's tensioned when it has pressurized air around it, keeping you, I mean, just laser accurate. One of the things that you'll notice about my 250Z, this is mine, like I said, the other one is my wife's, is the paint job. That's custom. I did that, you know, over the course of some time, and some plant harvesting, and a lot of blue tape, and a lot of different colors of paint, and different mesh netting, and all that fun stuff. So, I mean, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. This one here has a M-LOK bipod. Not a big fan of it. I don't like ones that go on the bottom. I'd rather utilize other things like Arca rail, so I could put different attachments on the bottom if I wanted to. I'd prefer to use these sides M-LOKs right there and there for my bipods. And I prefer ones that have multiple locking positions. These ones don't. I would not recommend them. But yeah, this bad boy is such a phenomenal first time purchase. And there's some things that I'll say, you know, a lot of people wonder if this is a beginner friendly PCP. I'll say yes, it is, strictly because there's so many different options to adjust it. Let me set these down. So let's pick up this bad boy. So you have your air pressure right there. See that in the bottom? That is the pressure of the air around your barrel. So that's the available pressure you have to use. That right there is your regulator adjustment, which means you can adjust the pressure of the air that escapes the barrel per shot externally. You don't have to take the PCP apart. This is the plenum. That's the gauge for the plenum. Looks like, yeah, let me get that jumping spider off me. I'm running 2050 PSI on my regulator right now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Without this plenum edition though, I'd probably be running closer to 2700 PSI to achieve the same velocity of the slugs that I'm using. You don't have to use these slugs. H&N makes 2 of this same weight slug in 2 different diameters, so you can find which one works the best for your barrel if you want to go the stock route. I believe Zan makes the same slugs. I don't use pellets anymore after using slugs and fine-tuning this rifle for specifically this weight slug. And I honestly, after using this slug makers, I can't do anything less than this. I mean, this man right here makes amazing slugs. I run 32 grain. I don't have a lot of crosswind most of the time. You know, sometimes I think we have up to maybe 12-15 mile an hour crosswind. And 32 grain fly the fastest and the straightest with the least amount of drop, which lets me make, you know, 100-yard shots on something the size of a small dove. So it's those are my go-to all day long. The scope, let's talk about the scope for a second. Scope's where this thing goes way out of being a budget gun. But I did start with a $29 or maybe $32 CV Life scope. You know, CV Life makes some great budget scopes, and realistically, this thing is a monster no matter what scope you have. All the videos you see were recorded on this scope right here. This one right here. Pretty good quality. For the budget that this scope in particular is, it's amazing. This is a DNT Zulus HD version 2, which means it uses bigger batteries, more or less. Doesn't have a little card on the side that you can slip in and out for video storage. Still has an app, still has amazing bunch of different features. There are so many videos about this scope, maybe not this one in particular because everybody had to have the laser rangefinder. I mean, I'm not taking shots so long or shooting so infrequently that I don't just kind of do holdover anymore. It took me time to get there, but yeah, now we're there. I'm gonna go ahead and put some slugs in the mag, and then we're gonna send some and let you hear what it sounds like when this bad boy is running. So here's your mag. You just take your finger and you turn it a little bit, expose a hole, put your slug in, give it a little press down. Come on, baby. There you go. 2, let's just do 3. I mean, we're just demonstrating the volume of this rifle, or this PCP. The reason why I like this hard air is because you see this right here, it's actually printed to match the pattern up there. Works out absolutely fantastic. So then you just slide her in. Ta-da! It's got magnets in it, so it clips in just like your stock ones do. Push the bolt forward, bang, she's ready to rock. power on the scope. Now let's take a couple shots at the cow scratcher out there. Keep in mind, I'm literally cocking and loading this all with one hand while I'm holding this phone on top of the scope. I mean, this thing is so quiet. Right now, I'm sure my voice sounds way louder than the actual scope or the rifle. I mean, look at that bird there. We could probably take him, but no, we're not going to do that. All right, there we go. Three rounds. Smacking the hell out of that cow catcher that's 85 yards away. And you could tell how the cow catcher was popping louder than the actual mechanics of this rifle. So let's do a quick summary. Is this a budget? And let's talk like super budget. Is this a true budget rifle? Nah, debatable. I do not have $500 that I can light on fire and not notice that it's missing. I would say no, this isn't budget. Some of you do, some of you don't. This is somewhere in the middle of, is it affordable? Yeah, somewhat. You know, if you're just looking to punch some paper targets and maybe shoot some cans 75 yards, 80 yards out at a barbecue, this is awesome, awesome, awesome. Is it worth it? Yes. This PCP packs a punch so far above its weight, and when you consider the available accessories, yeah, I have and will continue to recommend this PCP. I don't have experience in 22. I've never recommended the 22. Sure, it'd be cool, but I have experience, lots of experience with the 25, and that is what I recommend and will always recommend. The number one modification that every single one of these need, and this is such a slept on thing, and I don't know why. There is a trigger kit available from a gentleman, Mr. 802 Airhead, the Northeast Beast himself, that takes this rifle from being something you want to shoot when you have a good gathering or a barbecue of buddies and, you know, haha, check this out kind of novelty, and it turns it into something that you want to shoot every single day, every single moment of every single day, because it changes the whole dynamic of the PCP by itself. I can't recommend it enough. That being said, he makes some other amazing accessories for this. There is one that I'm going to be getting here shortly, probably in the next month. I wonder what it could be, so that I can try it out and see how it does. I've heard great things. I've seen good things. I'm curious about it, but all good things to those who wait. Is this a beginner air rifle? Absolutely. You get so much more than what you're paying for. You get an adjustable external regulator. You can take off this adjustable buttstock and have access to your hammer spring. I mean, you have a 2-stage adjustable trigger. I'm gonna say this trigger is pretty crappy. until you get somebody's trigger kit installed in that thing. And once you do, you're gonna yeah, yep, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, this is a fantastic PCP. Here, I'm gonna throw some clips in this, some of the shots and some of the pesting I've done. And like I said, this rifle in particular, of all these clips, without the aftermarket Lothar Walther barrel, so with just the stock one, this is the rifle used in all those clips. That's the same scope used in all those clips. The Franco 32 grain slugs are the same ammunition, the same slugs used in every single one of those clips. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. If you're thinking about, you know, a good starter introduction PCP, this is one that will not let you down. No matter how many times you use it. The air chamber is small enough that if you have a pump, you can hand pump fill it. I would recommend a 12 volt minimum PCP compressor, because once, like I said, once you get that trigger kit in there, you will not stop shooting it. You won't want to. Then the natural progression of things would be a magazine, a moderator, a plenum. Then you get to drop your pressure down and you get more shots per fill, and then you'll end up with a nicer scope. Bipods. M-LOK bipods, not for this one. No. Would I use those on something that is a little bit more lethal? Maybe. Not any of the ones that I own. I would recommend some like the CV Lifestyle that mount to the side M-LOK here, and leave the bottom ones open. You'll see on my other one my other one that I gave to my wife will be the last one that I review currently, and you'll see the differences between this style of bipod and the other ones. I prefer the other ones, personal preference. These ones have pan, you know, they let you tilt and change the level of your rifle, and this one lets you, turn it a little bit while the legs stay planted. But 7 out of 10 times I'm doing freehand. 3 out of 10 times I'm using the bipod, and I have the ability to move myself and or move the PCP. I don't care about that thing's coolness enough to sacrifice all that bottom M-LOK for just a pair of bipods, man. But yeah, personal opinion on that. That scope is a gangster. That thing is slept on. No, it's not the laser rangefinder one, but it is the best thing since sliced bread for doing pesting in a barn, or if you know where certain species of four-legged, bouncing, hoppy, furry animals are going to come out and run around their burrows at night. That right there with the infrared illuminator. Yeah, you're going to like that. All right, man. I'm out of here. Peace. 100 yards.